But it's good though.
It's good.
It's mixed up. The colors don't match the flavors.
So you don't know what you're
So you don't know
doing.
what they're doing.
Oh, because I was in my little meeting. You know what? We'll call the. Are you ready, Mrs. Rep? Okay. I showed up early and everything tonight.
Get your whole
And
wire.
then I saw something shiny and got distracted, and now I'm not ready. All right. What? I'm sorry, what? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? How about now? Yeah? Okay. All right. Mr. Fredericks, are you ready? I gotta run out and get my stuff here. One of those there, that'll be fine for a second. All right, it's 7 o'clock. It is Monday, October 15th, 2018. This meeting's been called to order for the City of Woodland Council. If I could get everyone to please silence your cell phones and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mrs. Ripley, please take the roll.
Councilmember Graham?
Here.
Councilmember Plaza?
Here.
Councilmember Chapman?
Here.
Councilmember Hubbard?
Here.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Here.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Here.
Councilmember Rounds? We call, and indicated she was going to be out after.
I'll make a motion to excuse.
Second.
Yes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Motion to excuse Councilmember Rounds by Councilmember Frederick, seconded by Councilmember Humberg. Will the clerk please take the vote?
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Aye.
Councilmember Plaza?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Hubbard?
Aye.
All right, Mrs. Rounds has been excused. If you give me just one moment here, I'm going to try and get this on somewhere. Help me.
Oh, then, no, that's all. Yeah, so do it.
I got it there.
That's all.
Thank you. All right. Oh, fix my button. All right. We have two proclamations to read this evening. Red Ribbon Week and Make a Difference Day, October 27, 2018. Someone from Public Works here this evening? No? All right. They're supposed to be? All right. Let me grab something.
Other truck parked out there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Figure it out.
Get your stuff together, Ben. What are we doing? Maybe just give me one moment here, because I've got stuff to give away too.
You're in charge.
Oh, sorry, oh, yeah.
Take care of us.
All right. All right, then. I'm going to turn this around here. Okay, I'm going to read this out. Are you going to make this? All right.
He's scary, but he doesn't bite.
All right. Thank you for coming out this evening as well. Thank you for being here to witness this as well. Red Ribbon Week, October 23rd through the 31st of 2018. Whereas communities across America have been plagued by the numerous problems associated with illicit drug use and those that traffic in them. And whereas there is hope in winning the war on drugs, and that hope lies in education and drug demand reduction, coupled with the hard work and determination of organizations such as the Lewis and Clark Young Marines of the Marine Corps League to foster a healthy, drug-free lifestyle. And whereas governments and community leaders know that citizen support is one of the most effective tools in the effort to reduce the use of illicit drugs in our communities. And whereas the red ribbon has been chosen as a symbol commemorating the work of Enrique Kiki I'll see if I'm going to get this wrong. I can't say it. Can you help me out? Camarena, thank you, a Drug Enforcement Administration special agent who was murdered in the line of duty and represents the belief that one person can make a difference. And whereas the Red Ribbon Campaign was established by Congress in 1988 to encourage a drug-free lifestyle and involvement in drug prevention and reduction efforts, and whereas October 23rd through the 31st of 2018 has been designated National Red Ribbon Week, which encourages Americans to wear a red ribbon to show their support for a drug-free environment. Now, therefore, I, Mayor William A. Finn, do hereby proclaim October 23rd through the 31st of 2018 as Red Ribbon Week in the City of Woodland, dated this 15th day of October of 2018. Thank you. Chief, you want to come up here with us? Just come right up here. We're going to take this with the chief here.
How about we get another joint?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Freaking happy next. Thick as thieves, we are. Hoorah. It's hooah.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to give this to you, and I'm going to give you a few words here. And I also have our appreciation here, a City of Woodland pen for you. All right? Thank you very much, and I'll turn this over to you, and you can take that with you. All right? There you go.
I am Lewis and Clark Young Marine, Lance Corporal Sigurd Metzger. The Lewis and Clark Young Marines would like to thank the City of Woodland for allowing us to meet with you today to accept your Red Ribbon Week proclamation. We have handed out cards with red ribbons attached. Please wear this ribbon every day from now through the month of October to show your visible commitment. It was in our war against illegal drugs and those who promote their use. Whenever you are asked about the red ribbon, please tell the story of Enrique Kiki Camarena, which you can read about on the back side of your card. Kiki was a DEA agent that was abducted, tortured, and murdered by drug lords in 1985. Kiki had a vision of a drug-free America, and by wearing the red ribbon, you can show your support for this vision. The last week in October, known as Red Ribbon Week, and celebrates Kiki's life and vision. Please join with the Lewis and Clark Young Marines and encourage everyone to join in this celebration of Kiki Camarena's life. And wear a red ribbon. Anti-drug education is a vital key element in the Young Marines fighting against illegal drug in our community. Red Ribbon Week provides you an excellent opportunity to help educate our youth. If you can't help us in this fight, then who will? Please wear your red ribbon, do your part, show your support, and let's work to rid our communities of illegal drugs and those that deal in them. The Lewis and Clark Young Marines are located in Vancouver, Washington, and are part of the National Young Marine Program. The Young Marines strengthen the lives of America's youth by teaching the importance of self-confidence, academic achievement, honoring our veterans, good citizenship, community service, and living a healthy, drug-free lifestyle. The Young Marines promotes the mental, moral, and physical development of its members. The program focuses on character building and leadership and promotes a lifestyle that is conducive to being productive members of society. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have about the Lewis and Clark Young Marines.
Council.
How would we get a hold of you if we wanted you to come to something else?
You would email Christine Lewis.
I have that email.
Okay, I'll get it from the chief.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I struggled with Kiki's name last year, too, just for the record. All right. I have one more proclamation to read here this evening. I'm the one that said turn your phones off. Mine's going to ring. All right. Make a Difference Day, October 27th, 2018. Whereas serious social problems concern our nation and threaten its future. And whereas connection with others and working together through volunteer service can bridge differences that separate people and help solve serious social problems. And whereas we, the American people, have a strong tradition of can't say that word either. Help me out.
Philanthropy.
I can't get my mouth to work that way. And volunteerism. And whereas USA Weekend Magazine and its affiliate newspapers and the Points of Light Foundation and its affiliate volunteer centers have joined together to promote an annual National Day of Doing Good that celebrates and strengthens the spirit of volunteer service. And whereas millions of self-sacrificing individuals touch and enhance the lives of millions of National Make a Difference Day by giving where there is a need, rebuilding what has been torn down, teaching where there is a desire to learn, and inspiring those who may have lost hope. And whereas volunteer service is an investment in the future we must all share. And whereas the Woodland School District and the City of Woodland have joined together to promote and nurture an annual Make a Difference Day in the City of Woodland and environs. Now, therefore, I, Mayor William A. Finn, in consultation with the Woodland City Council and Woodland School Board, do hereby proclaim October 27th, 2018 as Make a Difference Day in the City of Woodland and urge all citizens to support and observe this day by connecting with friends, fellow employees and relatives, and with religious schools and civic groups to encourage or to engage in projects that make a difference and which benefit our community dated this 15th day of October of 2018. And I hope to see everyone at 8 a.m. in the middle school commons with me. Mr. Fredericks? It's very early. All right. Moving on to the agenda. I was going to say something else. I forgot. I'm a mess tonight, apparently. All right. Citizen communications for items not on the agenda. I have no one signed up at this time. Now is your opportunity to step forward for items not on the agenda if you failed to sign up at the beginning of the meeting. All right, moving on to citizen communications for items on the agenda. We have one. Miss Kathy, would you please step forward? And did Kathy leave? No? Okay, well, we have no one on the for items on the agenda. If you failed to do so at the beginning of the meeting, now is your opportunity to step forward. Is it? Oh, gotcha. Oh,
She just signed in. She didn't-
gotcha. Okay, so we had nobody. Okay.
Sting Doug bitch. City council
You can't say that during a meeting.
Sorry.
You just did. All right. We've now come to the portion of the agenda for approval this evening.
Move to approve, agenda as presented?
Moved by Councilmember Humberg, seconded by Councilmember Plaza. Will the clerk please take the vote?
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Plaza?
Aye.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Aye.
Councilmember Hubbard?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
All right, the agenda's been approved. Moving on to reports of standing committees. Mr. Fredericks, Finance and General Government.
Oh, that's me. Okay, we met on Monday, October 8th at 5:30. We reviewed the September financial report. We also reviewed the gambling activity report. Reviewed a few utility adjustments and ordinance number 1418, which is for your consideration this evening on the utility non-use. Amendments were needed to it. The Finance Committee recommended to send this to council with a do pass recommendation. It's on somewhere on the agenda. Trust me, it's there somewhere. Item G. Ordinance number 1416, which is also on this evening's agenda. Or not.
No.
It is still being worked on, but is going to be referred to the council from that committee with a do pass recommendation. We're authorizing, the committee also recommended to pass the police radio replacement purchase from gambling revenues, which is on this evening's agenda, consent item C. Ordinance number 1417, which is a fund closure, Fund 325. Council has or the committee also referred that to council with a do pass recommendation. Ordinance number 1148, the sales tax distribution as it relates to 2018 and 2019 budget. We're still discussing that, but that will be part of this year's budget process. Ordinance number 1211, finance policies. We reviewed a sample policy from DuPont. The clerk treasurer is going to forward the DuPont policy to the committee and bring back to the committee in November. That'll be part of the 2019 budget discussion as well. There are a few things that are still pending in the committee. Impact fees timeline. Mr. Goddard's going to present that. We are waiting for a target date from you on that, so if you could let us know when you think that might be, that would be good. Business license, the BLS model threshold ordinance, that is, we're required to pass some sort of action before January 1, if I'm not mistaken, so that will be brought back for council consideration prior to January. Mr. Randolph is reviewing, maybe.
I'm listening.
The amendment to the Scott Hill Park MOU. And if you say no, that means it hasn't been routed to you yet. It means there's 3 other important things you're working on before that. Right, Mr. Boyce? Shake your head, yes, okay. So you're not yet, but you will soon.
Appreciate it.
We received a mediation update, or we did not receive a mediation update. Mr. Boyce was not at the meeting, but that is pending. Humane Society contract update. Mr. Boyce is working on that as well. And that will be part of the 2019 budget process. And then continued policy, which has been continued until December, is the special events, special use permits, street closure, block parties. That will be coming to the Finance Committee in December. The website update, it's becoming kind of critical. There are many things that are not working on the city's website, and there's also some requirements that we have to comply with. So that's going to be part of the 2019 budget process as well. The utility rate study is still in progress. And I think that's it. Insurance, CIAW rates for 2019 will come out. Based upon recent action, I'm going to guess that there might be an increase there. And we adjourn the meeting at 6:30. Our next meeting is scheduled for whatever the agenda says, November 13th.
Get together,
So there's a question, we have also have the budget workshop that night, so we're going to have a short meeting or?
It depends if there's any action that needs to be brought before the council, so you let us know, and if there isn't one, then,
It's a Tuesday.
oh,
Oh, yeah, because Monday's a holiday.
what is that, November 11th?
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Yeah, is on Sunday, so.
It's on Monday. Or it's on
It's
Sunday.
Sunday, but we're observing on Monday,
Hey,
so.
Chief of Dave's Day.
Okay. Let us know. I mean, if there's action that's going to be required and we have to meet, then great. If we can do it at the budget meeting, we can address it there as well. That is it.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Fredericks? Seeing none. All right, moving on to reports of city officers. It says mayor, that's me, so I'll go. I have a number of things to discuss. First and foremost, we crowned Mr. John J.J. Burke a Volunteer of the Year. And then also during our employee luncheon, which was that last Wednesday already or 2 Wednesdays back? 2 Wednesdays back? Oh, my days run together. So 2 Wednesdays back. Well, that was the 3rd of October. God, nailed it. 3rd of October, we Miss Kathy Morrison over at the Public Works Department was given the honor of Employee of the Year for the City of Woodland. So if you see her out and about, please congratulate her. Well deserved. We have many outstanding employees within the city that do a good job for us every day. But Kathy, beat him out by just a little bit there. So she's our winner this year. So, and same with Mr. Burke. If you see him around town, please congratulate him on being chosen Volunteer of the Year. Chamber update. Mrs. Graham.
Chamber update. Tomorrow, the 16th, Mr. Ed Orcutt will be at our chamber luncheon doing his political part. And apparently he is going to be by himself because his opponent declined.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
me either.
So, and then we also have an after hours on Thursday the 18th up at the Empress Palace Event Center. And if nobody's ever been up there yet, it's quite a nice facility. And he was, the owner was telling us today that he has nice hors d'oeuvres and wine for everybody.
I think
And
he's-
then
I
the
think he's trying to
chamber,
play us
the
off.
chamber is also out, putting out notice that we will be looking for nominations for Citizen of the Year, Business of the Year, and Employee of the Year, which will be announced in January at our installation banquet, which is held at the Heathland Lodge, I believe is the third weekend in January. That's probably just about it,
Okay.
as far as,
Next couple weeks.
can
and
remember.
Big ones
Yeah.
coming up. Okay.
yeah.
Questions for Mrs. Graham? Seeing none. Moving on. Legislative discussion. So instead of being under the gun coming up for, or was this something else? This was me, right? Okay, I'm just making, I put this on there. Because I have a thought in my head of what I wanted to talk about, but then I started thinking maybe I was wrong. So come February, we've got City Actions Days on the 13th and the 14th of February. I'm hoping to sit down and have a discussion. I know we're going through budget, but as we come through with a list of items that we're going to be advocating for as a group, as a city, to be able to have that done by mid-December. I'm going to take this task on myself this year. I actually had a discussion with Mrs. Ray Keene. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Ray Keene. Ray
Ray
Keene this afternoon. And we're both on the same page that as a city we need to make sure that we've got a consistent message. So I'll be contacting the chamber at some point, trying to figure out what your legislative priorities are and sharing the city's legislative priorities with you and then also the port. So that we're all in unison when we all go to Olympia, since we all have different days that we go up there, to make sure that we're not competing for the same thing and we're all in agreement, or for different items, and that we're all in agreement with what the city needs. So more to come on that as we move forward and with that discussion.
Can I ask you a question?
Mr. Fredericks.
Are we going to be reviewing our legislative priorities, or City of Woodlands legislative priorities?
Yes.
Is it possible to have a review of the, one of the things that we ask for on there, typically since I've been on council, is a do no harm. Can somebody take a look at if the state legislature has done harm or not? Because I feel like my perception is there's more that they end up taking shared revenue, it seems like, and then, which gives us the inability to effectively, we're already pinched so tight that what they do is they give us ability to, like, well, you can go out and pass a tab increase, or you can go out and tax groceries, or, I mean, they'll give you all these new things that you can tax that basically removes the responsibility from Olympia to the local government. And I'm wondering if they really complied with the do no harm, and if we could get some sort of report on the do no harm section. Has the state legislature listened to the cities who, for the most part, all have that in there, the do no harm piece?
Report back.
And I don't know if you have the ability to do that, but
I'll give it a shot.
okay. That would be helpful.
Okay.
And maybe they have done a great job of doing no harm. But
I'm starting to feel very uncomfortable right
my
now.
My sense is that they've fallen short.
And thank you for putting that on the record, Mr. Fredericks. Make sure that everyone knows that was Mr. Fredericks.
It's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Fredericks.
His address is.
So yeah, so that we'll be having that discussion as we move forward, and we will bring those up for review and have it. I don't want to be under the gun this year and feel like we're rushing to get those items put together. I want to make sure that the game plan has been put in place and we're not stepping on anyone's toes and no one's stepping on ours. I have a list of things to go over here. This past Friday night, Heather and I attended the Love Street Playhouse over the river and through the woods. It was opening night. It was wonderful. I encourage everyone in the city and in its surrounding communities to attend the Love Street Playhouse. They do a wonderful job. I think this was my fourth or fifth event. Well done. Especially go on opening night. There's extras that come along with that. So good time. Good time. Saturday, I attended a soccer fundraiser for the girls' soccer team at the high school. Dinner and a movie. I won a basket because I'm very competitive, I would say, and I made sure that I won. Even though I had to leave early, I still had a proxy bidder for myself. I actually saw Mrs. Graham there and Mr. Fredericks there as well. So good for you for coming out and supporting the girls' soccer team.
I go every year.
It was the second year, so you've gone every year. You go, it's something you do every year religiously.
Second annual on 2 for 2.
Well, well done, sir. Well done. The Port opened up their new office this past Wednesday. And one thing that occurred, there was actually 2 events this past Wednesday at the Port. And number 1 was the opening of the new building, and then also the retirement of Commissioner Peterson, who has been the longest serving Port Commissioner in the state of second longest running Port Commissioner in the state of Washington. During the noon event, I actually presented him with a key to the city, which was awesome, and we raised the flag. The VFW was there. It was a beautiful event, and they have a beautiful facility. Miss, I'm going to get this wrong. Miss Ray?
Yes.
Ray Keene. This is going to take me a while to get this one down.
Get it down, no, just be Ray.
And they'll just be Ray. Yeah, okay. Miss Ray Keene informed me that she'd be more than happy to build us a new building now that she knows what she's doing. So congratulations to them in their new facility. Sorry to see them leave downtown. But I've also noticed that we've had a number of new businesses that have come in and started occupying some empty storefronts, which has been great. I think I can think of 3 off the top of my head. Where did they move to? They moved out towards the Port.
1608 Dyke
No, I'm
Road.
trying
Oh, yeah, I thought you were...
Miss Ray Keene.
She got married over the weekend, or last weekend. The Port
2
director
weekends
did.
ago.
2 weekends
Jennifer
ago.
Keene, same person. Okay.
Yes, she's
Got it.
hyphenating.
Okay,
She's making it difficult for me, is what she's doing, because I can't get it out.
Good times.
It's going to take me some time to train myself here. So congratulations to them and their new facility. It's beautiful. And let's see here. Breakfast tomorrow. I think there was a mistake for those out in our community that are listening, or those that are possibly in the audience right now. I'm meeting with the chamber tomorrow. This is not a community-wide event for breakfast, or not tomorrow. I'm sorry, on Wednesday at 7:30 at the Oak Tree. But I'll be meeting with the business chamber. I think a message had gone out with the belief that it was.
No, at the Oak Tree.
No, it says McDonald's.
The chamber's
It
having
came-
some issues with their email. It looked like it came from McDonald's, but it did not. It actually came from JJ. I don't know what's going on.
That's why we thought it was open.
Gotcha. No, it's fine. So I just want to, if anyone was planning on out in the community that's not part of the business chamber and is planning on attending, this is I don't know if we call it a private event, but it's an opportunity for me to sit down with our business owners, and some town halls will be coming in the future. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the chamber email. It looked like it came from McDonald's, but
Yeah, I don't
it
know
did
why
not.
that came that way.
Let's see, what is this? Oh, there's a career fair for our high school students that the city will be participating in on November 1st, which is a Thursday. And I don't know if that one's open to the public or if that's just a high school event only. Chief?
I don't know.
I know.
It's career day for the high school.
Career day for the high school. That's not a public event.
No.
Okay. So some city staff will be participating. I know the chief will be there, or the police department will be
A
participating.
representative would be there. I'll be at CJTC.
Okay. Public Works is going to be there. Mrs. Rip will be there in her department. Mr. Goddard's department will also be represented, along with a number of others. I think Mrs. Riley said today that there was 27 people signed up, 27 organizations. I can't remember.
Catch the number.
So, city's going out there and try to assist our youth in finding a good direction and career path. On the 20th, I've got a lot today. You're getting nervous over there. I've got a lot. No? You getting nervous?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Gold Leaf event is coming up, and that is an event sponsored by the Rotary to assist in the building of Scott Hill Park. That is on the 20th. I'll be emceeing the event, which I'm very excited about this year. So hopefully we can raise a lot of funds and keep going on the project that's already been started, so that's fantastic. Found out this week that Fort Vancouver Library, or Regional Library, our members in town here, will be holding an event on February 13th at the Red Barn. This is an event that my wife and I started, and we've passed over to them, and they'll be having a dinner and auction, so mark your calendars, and hopefully everyone can get a ticket to that. So I think Kenton Irwin and his wife Jane are hosting it this year, so looking forward to that. I won't be able to attend. I'll be in Olympia. It's the 13th. So those that are not going to Olympia, I encourage you to go to the library event. Attended Rotary today. Wonderful speaker. The district governor was down today and gave a very wonderful speech on community service and giving back, and every dollar counts. And if we all gave just a little bit more, the wonderful things that we could do. Very, very inspired by his chat, and absolutely support Rotary. I'm a junior Rotarian, although the chief has a couple more weeks on than I do. But I was at the meeting today. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there for lunch. You probably had a thing.
Well, it is Monday, Mr. Mayor, Council Day.
Yes.
I also have to prep for the Public Safety Committee meeting as well.
Thank you, sir.
The JOB cut into my Rotary time.
Gotcha. Understand. Well, I said enough for all of us.
I bet you did.
Yes, sir. Let's see. I've got a few other things here. We are, as a city, will be meeting with the Washington State Department of Transportation coming up here. Myself and Mr. Boyce, Mr. Goddard, I believe, will be involved with that. Miss Coleman will also be involved. So more to come with that. We've got some transportation issues within our city, if anyone notices that or not. Some congestion, perhaps even some safety issues that need to be addressed. So we plan on putting some pressure on a little bit here and hopefully come to a resolution on what we can do as a city to move forward here with our transportation plan and get some stuff completed, especially with Exit 21. That's the goal. So more to come. Also, a wonderful thing. Sometimes good things come out of tragedies. And I think that a couple years ago we had a major tragedy in our city when a man was killed in his home, and a number of agencies responded to investigate the murder of this man. But I want to say to the chief today, and if you could pass my appreciation on to the hardworking officers in your department that contributed so much to that investigation. And I know that the number of hours that went into that and the dedication to try and solve this is tremendous. And I know that took time away from the other calls that were out there. And I know it's not an easy one, especially when it's one of our neighbors that is out there that's been hurt. So I appreciate the hard work and dedication in the investigation that the department did. And I think council would agree with me on that. I don't know that we were, that your department, not we, but your department was represented appropriately in the media that came out. So I want to make sure that it's publicly said today that we have a hardworking group of individuals in our city, and they need to be recognized for that. So please pass that on. Thank you.
Pass that on to the officers involved.
I appreciate that. Thank you. A few weeks ago, I attended a Senate Transportation Committee meeting down in Vancouver. I found it extremely interesting, which ties back into the DOT meeting that's coming up. They try to include the city of Woodland in their plan for Clark County, but yet all the dollars are being spent down in Clark County, which is very concerning to me. So I'll be bringing that up during our meeting with DOT as well. I don't think that we're getting a fair shake with them. And the Senate Transportation Committee proved that. So, and obviously the Senate Transportation Committee is more than likely DOT's boss and tells them what the priorities are. So back to that, we'll be making ourselves a priority here soon. Action item D is on your worksheets this evening for the emergency roof repair. I ask that council approve this repair for there's. I'm tired of flooding out. And so is staff. We've had a number of floods on City Hall, and clearly we're not moving anytime soon and from our temporary location. That has been how many years? Since 96. So we're no longer obviously in a temporary location, and some investment needs to be made into our building, just out of liability. And I believe Mrs. Ripp stated it best at the last meeting that if we don't do something, more than likely we're not going to be covered next time that this happens. So we need a building to work out of. So I ask that council is.
It's to confirm emergency.
What is it?
And announce the.
Oh, okay.
bid award.
Gotcha. So that's all I have.
And budget amendment?
That is sitting in front of you this evening.
Well,
Yes.
the last meeting, they were working on getting bids, and Tracy is forward with,
You kind of expedite as fast as possible.
we will have to do a budget for this one.
Is that on here as well this evening, the budget amendment?
Yes. Implied.
It's implied.
Well,
Okay.
it's on here with an asterisk. See that little asterisk up there?
Where? Oh, on this one. Oh, I was looking at the agenda. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Questions for myself? All right, Mr. Boyce. I think I talked enough.
Okay, so we are working on the preliminary budget for 2019. You will have it this week. We have a couple last minute changes we need to make. Go over it Wednesday with Mayor Finn, and then print and distribute to all city councilors and get it up on the website. So that is coming. Next week, we have a mediation session scheduled with the Lieutenant Police Association. So it's scheduled for Thursday. So hopefully we'll have good news coming out of that. Hopefully we can reach an agreement. Also, the Humane Society contract, we brought that up earlier. I think there's a general consensus of a path forward. So we should have a contract fairly soon. We'll submit it to the Finance Committee and then bring it to City Council as a whole. As you all know, our options are limited with receiving this service. One too many players to supply the service. So we've come up with what we think is reasonable. The cities, including Kelso and Longview and Castle Rock and Cowlitz County, have been meeting with the Humane Society and some of their board members and director, and we'll be coming forward with a contract, so that will be here soon. And other than that, the upcoming events. October 22nd, City Council special meeting and workshop regarding the 2019 budget here at 7 p.m. October 27th is Make a Difference Day. October 29th, City Council special meeting, again, workshop for the budget. November 5th, Community Recognition Reception at 6:30 p.m. Public hearing regarding the 2019 property tax levy at 7 p.m. November 8th, County Town Hall, Part 2 at Woodland High School at 5:30 p.m. November 9th, the Empty Bowls program at Woodland High School, 7 p.m. November 12th, Veterans Day, holidays observed, so city offices will be closed. November 13th, another special workshop regarding the budget. November 19th, public hearing for the final budget for 2019. First reading at 7 p.m. December 6th, County Town Hall, Part 3 at Woodland High School, 5:30 p.m. So we have company events.
Questions for Mr. Boyce this evening?
Susan, I had your October VFW breakfast, but I didn't have.
It was last Saturday.
I know, do you have the
It's
November?
the second Saturday of the month,
So do you
always.
have- I didn't put the November on there because I
Okay,
wasn't sure.
I don't remember.
Second Saturday.
Is it
It's the second
every
Saturday.
second Saturday?
It's always second
Okay.
Saturday. Thank you. There'll also be a ceremony downtown on Monday from 11 to, well, it'll start at 11 and there'll be coffee and...
November 12th?
Yeah. Coffee and cake at the Post after.
I'm not the speaker. I like to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's on Monday.
Just email and not talk.
Okay.
I can't follow the guy from last year. That guy was awesome.
Oh, so are you.
Oh, Susan, stop. Thank you. Mrs. Holland, is there a Woodland Action meeting this week? Next week.
Actually, we have a strategic planning meeting.
No, that's not the. What is the regular meeting date?
Changed it.
Okay.
It used to be the third Wednesday, now it's the fourth Wednesday because of the all of our big states.
Okay. Fourth Wednesday of the month.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Except like Christmas.
Okay. Darn birthdays. And
That's a good birthday.
it's a good birthday. And our new police officer is heading off to the academy. Chief?
Next week.
Next week.
Next Tuesday. He passed his physical on last Wednesday, and he begins his academy venture on Tuesday.
That's awesome. Good luck to him. How many weeks before we see him back in town here?
March-ish.
March-ish. All right.
Yeah, middle of March.
All right. All right. Moving on. Now we've come to the item of the agenda for consent items.
Move to approve the consent items as presented.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Humberg, seconded by Councilmember Chapman. Will the clerk please take the vote?
Councilmember Humberg?
Aye.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Councilmember Plaza?
Aye.
All right, consent items A, B, and C have been approved. Moving on to action items this evening. Action item D, confirm emergency roof repair at City Hall and bid award. I believe you have it sitting in front of you.
I move to authorize a declared emergency for the roof replacement for City Hall and award the bid to Roof Toppers for the replacement of the roof in an amount not to exceed $60,000 and approve the necessary budget amendment.
Second.
All right, moved by Councilmember Fredericks, seconded by Councilmember Humberg. Councilmember Fredericks.
Is it possible to make sure that the link gets updated with what has been put on the Dias, so when someone wants to look to see what we did in a year, is it on there now?
There.
Okay. And just to clarify, Ms. Rip, when the city moved into that in 1996, that was a 5-year option, correct? Okay. It's been more than that.
Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
Government doesn't move quickly.
Ms. Humberg.
No comment. Must be done.
Well, Ms. Humber, there's also that risk of not only does it not move quickly, but that we pour a bunch of money into things when we all know it needs to be replaced. So
Totally agree.
this is a Band-Aid approach that we're all taking here.
Further discussion.
I have just a quick
Mr.
question.
Plaza.
Just a quick question. I saw on the letter from these roof topper guys that they don't do anything with asbestos. And in the email, the guy from Roof Toppers had said that somebody from the city had told them there's no asbestos in the building. Was that you?
We've had it tested during the last 2 cleanups.
Okay, so we don't need to worry about it popping up and then suddenly having to do a bunch of craziness.
The last 2 restoration companies have to automatically test for that.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That's all I
Further,
got.
okay. Further discussion? Will the clerk please take the vote on action item D for emergency roof repair by roof toppers at the City Hall temporary location, not to exceed $60,000.
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Councilmember Humbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Aye.
Councilmember Plaza?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
All right, action item D has passed. Moving on to action item E as in Edward. Ordinance number 1419, amending petty cash / change fund by deleting Public Works Office change fund, first and final reading.
Move adoption of ordinance number 1419.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Fredericks, seconded by Councilmember Chapman. Councilmember Fredericks.
I believe this is just cleaning it up for audit purposes, and it removes the petty cash fund for the Public Works Office.
Mr. Chapman.
Yeah, agreed.
Further discussion. Mrs. Ripley, please take the vote on action item E, ordinance number 1419.
Councilmember Humbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Plaza?
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Aye.
Moving on to action item F, ordinance number 1417, close Fund 325 SR 503 / Scott Avenue intersection project, first and final reading.
Move adoption of ordinance number 1417.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Fredericks, seconded by Councilmember Chapman. Councilmember Fredericks.
This is just a office function that needs to be completed to close the State Route 503 Scott Avenue intersection project.
Councilmember Chapman.
I agree. It's a simple, basic of dotting the i's and crossing the t's, so we can move on with the next projects.
Further discussion. Will the clerk please take the vote on action item F, ordinance number 1417.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Plaza?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Councilmember Humbert?
Aye.
Moving on to action item G, ordinance number 1418, amending Woodland Municipal Code 13.04.240 and ordinance number 1411, utility non-use, first and final reading.
Move to approve?
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Humberg, seconded by Councilmember Fredericks. Councilmember Humberg.
It's something that we've been working on that the public has asked us for, and it looks good to me.
Councilmember Fredericks.
I have no objection to moving forward with this specific ordinance. I just want to make sure that this is an ordinance that is monitored to make sure that nothing comes up later that might be an issue. So I'm sure staff will look at it and inform us if that is the case. So.
Further discussion?
Another question.
Mr. Plaza.
Okay, on the non-use thing, it says that it can only be used one time during a 12-month period. Is it a lengthy process to get somebody's garbage or water or whatever turned off? Or why only once? What if somebody goes on vacation twice a year? Why can't they have it turned off both times?
Well, I think the issue would be the fixed costs for keeping up the infrastructure. So if, the city council could suggest however many times per year, of course. What we're trying to stay away from is someone continually, turning off the fees for almost the entire year.
Okay.
So that's the reason behind this.
Okay. All right.
And I think the main complaint we got was from the people that were leaving their homes for a number of months and coming back to snowbirders and things like
Right.
that. And then also there'd been a few that had extended illnesses where they weren't able to be in their homes. And those were the two that we were really trying to address.
Okay, thank you.
All right, further discussion? All right, will the clerk please take the vote on action item G, ordinance number 1418.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Aye.
Councilmember Fredericks?
Aye.
Councilmember Graham?
Aye.
Councilmember Chapman?
Aye.
Councilmember Plaza?
Aye.
Councilmember Humbert?
Aye.
All right, action item G has passed. The time is now 7:50, and we will be moving into executive session for potential litigation, RCW 42.30.110, Section 1, subsection I, or was that a 1, subsection II. Litigation that the agency believes may be commenced by or against the agency, the governing body, or a member acting in an official capacity. We will be in executive session for approximately 15 minutes.
Just to confirm, there's no action being taken after executive
Correct.
session.
That is correct.
I had to try to make it type like that.
This evening, just to say welcome to fall, and the great pumpkin holiday is coming on the 31st, so please join us in downtown with the trick-or-treating as well on the 31st. Was that on the agenda? I forgot. We're still passing out candy. Are we still passing out candy?
Yes.
Yes, so there'll be the children's parade and then some trick-or-treating in downtown, and it's on a Wednesday this year, so I didn't have to move the holiday. So yeah, what's that? 3 to 5? Does that sound about right? Okay, so come join us. Mrs. Graham.
Well, I can add, I'm just sorry that didn't even cross my mind being Halloween, but you can pick up, businesses can pick up their little Halloween placard to put in their
Oh.
window from the chamber office, from the info center.
Oh, okay.
It
Oh,
says
nice.
trick or treat
Okay.
here.
Sweet. Awesome.
Mr.
Yes.
Did Flo have a little bit to do with this?
You know what, Mr. Chapman?
Can we put a little
Happy holidays.
words? First lady, what on there?
The may or may not had a hand in it. I will not confirm nor
No,
deny.
there's no may or may not to it.
There, we've come to the portion for adjournment on our agenda.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Humberg, seconded by Councilmember Chapman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 8:08. Thank you, everybody. Did you just throw that away? I'm done with this. Just kidding, because that would have been my dead. There was candy in there. I know you like candy. No, I know. I was kidding. Oh, wait till I get home. I want to be rude.
Wait until I get thinking positive. I'm not
Oh, God. You're terrible.
Those are your,
Yeah. Right.
Take it off for 6 months and then every 6 months regular. So they can never have to have water or sewer at the house.
But you see what I'm thinking?
Yes, I do.
And then I've already done my paperwork, so this gets changed. So I was already under the assumption that it's going to let Barbara know when I get my form in. Yes, so I don't have to do another form, kill the sewer and the garbage. It'll just all okay. All right, okay, so
Last year.
figure out what we're gonna do with that.
Think about that one, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be asking you, in the spring.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. I talked to Dan, she's gonna come over.
Yeah. I actually quite frankly. Okay. So.
Yes.
I don't know what you
Mr. Randolph.